What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine? Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.
And we are live. One of the most amazing people on X that I follow is Michelle Weekly. And if you do not, you should, unless you're a snowflake, because she will melt you to the fucking ground. What's going on, Michelle? How are you?
I'm great. How are you? It's so good to see you.
Yeah, I watched your interview with I think it was Breedlove.
Breedlove, yeah.
You killed it. Great job. I was so happy he had you on because I love him. Him and I have hung out. He's a great guy, but he very rarely brings on. I don't want to call you an average Joe or an average Jane, but you are not an elitist. You don't have this like point of view. You're extremely blunt. You're open. You're honest. You're like, this is what I believe. If you don't like it, have a hot cup of fuck off. And I love that about you. That's like, I find that.
Oh, right back at you.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, it was great. I've only been on X for a couple years since Elon bought it. And, I don't have that big of a following. Like, I know a lot of people in Bitcoin and that's great. But I was really excited when they reached out and honored to be on his podcast. It was a good show. It's some crazy shit that I've seen. And every time I have the opportunity to talk about it, I'm like, I can't believe this shit is real. But it is. It really happened. And, so.
Yep. All right, let's jump right in. And first, before we get to the Bitcoin and what's going on, because I don't really worry about the price of it. I think that's
Right.
like the least of what I look at. Let's jump in on politics.
I like it.
So yeah, I'm assuming you're a raging liberal.
I'm going to jump through the computer and smack you upside the head. I have never been a liberal a day in my life. I have been, I was part of the Tea Party movement in DC when I was younger. I have been like conservative at times, mostly just because I was like right of everyone I knew in DC and in tech. And I've never claimed to be a feminist, not a day in my life. And I'll tell you, I also like never wanted to be involved in politics. Like I spent 12 years in DC, like vowing to have nothing to do with it. And I never voted. The first time I voted was in 2020. And the reason for that, not only because of what happened to Trump, but even more so because of COVID and how much of a difference we saw state by state. So like I went and voted for DeSantis more than anything. And I really got radicalized like really quickly. And I was like, you know what? Like, it's crazy that the smart people refuse to vote. Like, I think that's actually the psyop is all the smart people with common sense are like, oh, I don't want anything to do with this. And I get it. That was me for so many years. Now I'm like, why are we letting these libtard loser lunatics with hair and like completely radicalized by propaganda, like they are making the rules and the laws and the regulation that we have to live by. So like if you don't vote, you still have to follow those rules. And now I mean, I'll pause my rant, but like even with Trump, like all of these people that I see being like, oh, I'm never voting again. I voted, I'm never voting again. I feel like it's really black pilling because in my opinion, like that's not the answer. You're just handing them the power. Like the answer is to go vote again, bring people to vote. And if you don't like the shit that's happening, vote them out and show them that there actually are consequences. So, and also like, there's a lot of shit that needs changed and people have to get involved and demand that it's changed. If we just sit back like and say leave us alone, like they are not going to leave us alone, and that's been made very clear. So like we don't have the luxury anymore of not caring.
Yeah, how I've explained it is how you and I and a lot of right-leaning people are live and let live.
Right.
Leave us alone and we'll leave you alone. We don't care if you're gay. We don't care if you dress up like a woman, do whatever the fuck you want to do. But like exactly like you said, what woke up a lot of people was fucking COVID.
Yeah.
Because when all of a sudden you have this craziness of, oh, we're just going to shut the whole country down. It's like, whoa, wait, what? You're shutting down schools. You're shutting down churches and all that. But
gyms.
Exactly. And yet, if you're in Antifa or Black Lives Matter, you have full rights. You can go out and you can riot and you can burn down whatever you want in these peaceful protests. And I think that woke up a lot of motherfuckers who were like, wait a second.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what else? So it was an interesting experience because I was less than 2 years back from I was like working in China. So I still had like a very active WeChat, friends that were there, all of that. And so two things, if I could be more radicalized, which I was, it was two things. One was like when they locked everybody down in China, while people were still here saying like, oh, it'll never happen here. I was like, it's absolutely coming here. You don't understand. And then I went to Italy and the fervency of the way that people were like, oh, it could never happen here. That was one thing. And then the other thing that I wasn't on Twitter at the time, so like nobody knows this, but my dad spent 11 days in a COVID prison in the British Virgin Islands. Yes.
What?
Yes. That my parents went like sailing with a group of friends, and you had to test to get into the BVI, and then they went, they were on vacation, and then they had to do a COVID test in order to leave the country. And my dad was not sick at all, but his COVID test came back positive, and they wouldn't let him leave, nor would they let my mom stay with him. So he spent, it was like, I think 2 or 3 days on the boat. And then they showed up to the boat and said, you cannot stay here. You have to come to the facility. And they took him to, it was a hotel near the marina that they had converted into, I don't know what they were officially calling it, a COVID camp. Like it was a prison. They put him in a room, and he was not allowed to leave his room. He was locked in a room. He didn't have cell service. He could go to, there was like a window that opened, and if he went there and leaned out far enough, he could get a bar of cell service, which is how we communicated with him. There was a phone in the room, and when he picked up the phone, it went to the front desk. Like, he couldn't make phone calls. And I mean, we were literally like, we were looking for rescue operations. There were like these helicopter services that were like going in and rescuing people. We were trying to figure out if we could do that. And ultimately he ended up, I don't want to say like bribing someone, but
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, he made a donation, and somebody shuffled some paperwork. But it was 11 days. This was leading up to Thanksgiving. We weren't sure if he would be home for the holidays, or like what was going to happen. And my dad, like, you think I'm crazy? Like, anybody that meets my dad is like, oh, so this is where it comes from. Like, he is not a passive person. He's not someone that complies. He's not like, my whole family was genuinely worried that he was going to like jump out of the window and run. I mean, I thank God that like it ended the way that it did. Like, it could have just been so much worse. I don't know what could have happened, but like, I mean, they held him in a COVID jail, like, and everybody just wants to move on and forget that this happened. Like,
that reminds me, I had a friend when I was younger, and his brother went to Mexico and then was supposedly arrested for something. Now, mind you, this guy he ain't gonna break a law. This guy's about as bland as they get.
Okay.
And he was supposedly arrested, and then no one has seen him since.
How many years ago was that?
Oh, that was probably 2001.
Wow. And he's just gone.
And he's just gone. And they've actually like flew down there. They looked at the records, and it shows him. He signed into the prison, and then he's just gone.
Wow. But he's not there. He signed into the prison, but he's not there.
Yep, he is not there. And of course, this is Mexico, and so they're kind of like, yeah, sorry.
Right. They don't care.
No.
Wow.
$2. And so when I hear shit like what you just explained, that makes me think, okay, he could have easily just, who are you talking about? We don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Because let's all remember Hitler and Mao and all that shit. It's once you're in a camp, who knows what can happen to you. And thank God that didn't happen to your dad. But
yeah,
like you said, it isn't like he just walked out and said, okay, well, that sucked. He had to contribute a little something to the till.
Right. Yeah. And luckily, my dad is retired, and like my family has the resources that it didn't impact us financially, but there was another group that I guess had been coming into the marina at the same time. I think they were in the same group going through customs and, whatever section you're in. And there were 4 people from Iowa that basically had the same experience as him. And they were in a different situation, these 2 younger couples, and they had family at home. They had jobs they were trying to get back to. I mean, can you imagine, like, if you have a job, you may have lost your job. They had young kids, and they just, I mean, it's mind-blowing. And we really, all other things considered, like in the end, yes, he was okay, but I don't know what happened to the rest of those people. Like when he left, those 4 people were still there. He'd not since communicated with them, but you know, like these things are very real. They do happen. They are happening. You know, we saw so much stuff around the world. Like Australia had massive camps built, and there were camps built
Huge.
all over the world.
Yeah, it's that. Now, mind you, I was already very radical, I guess you would call me,
Right.
because actually my dad had retired from the post office,
Mm-hmm.
and as his because he was retired, they said, "Hey, you need a physical because you're switching over to this whole other health care, whatever."
Okay.
He, now mind you, he feels fine. He looks good. He feels fine. He goes in. They tell him you have leukemia-like cancer, and I like totally freak out. I'm like, whoa, you have leukemia? What the fuck
Right.
is it? So because I love my dad to death, but he was a very simple man. All right. I actually go up there with him. And I had researched leukemia and leukemia like and
Right.
all this shit. And I went in there and I'm asking the professional doctor who her expertise is cancer. So I'm like, oh, okay, she knows what she's talking about. And I'm asking her very simple questions. And she kept kind of like, oh, yeah, that's not how we do it. And I'm, because I asked, what makes you think he has this? Well, he has slightly low whatever fucking number.
Right.
And I said, all right, well, what is his natural?
Yeah, the baseline.
Right. What was his baseline? It was like, well, we don't know because he never goes to the doctor. I said,
Right.
well, so you don't know what the baseline he was
Right.
at? And she was like, no, but this number is low or in the low range. And I asked her point blank, are there people who have that low of a number and they don't have this? And she said, yes. I said, then what makes you think he has it? And and swear to God, she said, I have high suspicion he does. And I go, no. What test did you give him that came out positive for this type of cancer? And she said, we didn't. There is no test for this cancer. And I said, so you want him to go through radiation therapy and chemotherapy, which you just said is going to be very hard on his system, on a hunch?
Wow.
And because, like I said, my dad was a very simple guy.
Sure.
He yells at me, he goes, Ben, now, God damn it, she's a doctor. She knows what she's talking about. And I, I literally said, Pop, this don't sound right.
Yeah.
This don't. And less than a year later, he's dead.
Oh man.
So that radicalized me on the healthcare system.
Right.
And I vowed, and I'll still get emotional about
Never
it.
to trust an expert again.
Right. I
Not
vowed,
that you did, but
right. I literally said, one way or another, I'm going to tear this system down. I said, I don't know how I'm going to do it. It probably
yeah.
won't just be me. I said, but I am going to get inside of a group that's job is to tear this shit down.
I'm so glad that we met, Ben. I'm so glad that this crazy world brought us together.
Oh, I agree. because it's once you, because they think you're crazy now. Imagine if you would have lost your father.
Yeah. Oh,
How
oh.
batshit crazy you would have went.
I'd have burned everything down. I
Yep,
would have gone there and burned the place down.
yep. And that's exactly how I feel is it,
Wow.
because then I looked into, okay, let's look into the healthcare system.
Right.
All right, that's a total fucking shit show
Yeah.
joke. That they literally are trained to kill you.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fucking. Then that led me to the money,
Yeah.
and then the money. Once I researched everything I kind of knew but didn't really look into it,
Right.
then I realized, oh, fuck the Federal Reserve. Who created the Federal Reserve? Oh, it's a lot of the people from the London School of Economics. Well, what came out of the London School of Economics was communism and
Yep.
Fabian socialists. And I went down the whole red, and that's where I saw their weak place. I'm
Right.
like, their weakness is the currency.
Yep.
So that's when I hopped full fucking board on Bitcoin, and I'm
Right.
like, let's spread. And uh, in 2018, I had my house raided. No, I'm sorry. It was 2019. I had my house raided at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I don't think I knew that.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Middle of the night, they
Yeah.
said that they got a phone call that I was holding my family hostage.
So you were basically swatted,
Oh yeah,
like before swatting was as popular as it is now.
yes.
Wow,
And
that is
then,
terrifying.
oh yeah, and then I've had the FBI at my house twice.
Is that in Florida?
No, that was up in St. Louis before I moved
Okay.
to Florida, and
Okay.
and oh, I well, I didn't feel sorry for the FBI agents.
Yeah.
If that's the job you want, then you are going to deal with motherfuckers like me, because
Right.
I would not let them on my property. I and I literally said, "You motherfuckers are not going to JFK me, motherfucker," and
That's right.
and and I literally said, either charge me or fuck off.
Yeah.
And luckily for me and them, they fucked
Right.
up.
Thank God for that. I mean, it's terrifying, you know. There's a couple people in Bitcoin that have some crazy stories, and they're not my stories to tell. I know that two of them in particular are in positions where they're not allowed to speak about it. But what I want people to know is that this happens so much more than they know. Like, you don't always hear about it, but it happened to you. It happened to people. You know, there's one guy on X. He has like 100,000 followers, give or take, 50K. But like a lot of like everybody knows who this person is. And they showed up at his door, and he had red dots like from long guns.
That's what
Uh,
happened to me.
yeah. It's all terrifying. Like I have absolutely thought about that. I'm prepared. I mean, luckily we are in Florida, and I think thank God for Florida. Um but I don't know. I think it's really likely that we see more and more of this. We'll see. Obviously, it's crazy. I think I wish Trump would do more. I wish he would like really burn everything down. I have some theories about that, and I don't know what happens next. But I have to admit, I'm not super optimistic about it. I feel like all these kids are really like cheering in communism, and I don't know how much longer we can hold it out.
Well, this is how I was actually at Trump's house about a year and a half ago. And what I heard and who I talked to, this is a long game. Trump has actually done so much more than people realize.
Oh, I'm sure.
He has transferred control of the gold out of London to the U.S.
Okay. See, I haven't heard this.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, because I have several friends in Washington D.C.
Yeah.
One of them in Trump's original election, he was at the White House probably 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay.
And him and I'll talk, and he'll let me know kind of what's going on under the sheets. You know, it's like, all right, this is what you see in the media, this is what Trump is saying, but this is what's really going on. Like, the shutdown is actually Trump going out after the healthcare system and health insurance system. Because while we heard, they want health insurance for all the illegal aliens.
Right.
Well, that in a way is true, but what the liberals were really trying to get in there was in January, all of the health care issuers were going to receive about $4 billion each. And if it wasn't in the bill, they wouldn't receive it.
Okay.
And that's what they were. Now, mind you, they wanted to add $1.4 trillion in.
It's insane.
Yeah. So Trump is actually doing a lot of great shit. It's just shit. If he hopped on TV and said, okay, well, this is what I did. I collapsed the gold window in London, and I actually brought all of that control here to New York, and that's why all of the gold prices are going up, because London has no gold and everyone's asking for delivery. And that, because what that price rise was London actually going out to purchase all of the gold they said they had.
Oh, that's interesting. Right. Of course they didn't.
Right. So exactly. So now the U.S. Is running all of the gold now. Right. And Trump is working out a deal with China on an agreed re-evaluation of gold.
I've heard that they might do this.
Yes, and Trump is accumulating fucking Bitcoin any way he can without actually buying it yet, because that's why he wrote the executive order that it's now legal that every 401k can hold actual Bitcoin, because when this thing fucking kicks off, and January is when it goes.
Okay.
It's that's when all this shit blows off, because it's January. He'll have 3 years left.
Right.
The next year is going to be a war. It's gonna be, because he has it set up now where he can basically take out all of the global banks, and that's his plan. Is roll the Federal Reserve into the Treasury, And when I say roll it, it's basically load all of the debt
Mm-hmm.
into the Federal Reserve and then let fucking Bitcoin shoot up and just devalue that shit all on the Fed.
Well, they have to do something. You know, the debt is going parabolic. So I think that makes a lot of sense. And I hope we see it. I hope it all burns to the ground, honestly.
Yep. All right. Hang on one second. A word from our sponsor.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from CALIX Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from CALIX Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calixsolutions.io.
All right, we're back. All right, now, Michelle, the question. If you were president, you had 4 years, what would your agenda, what would your platform actually be?
Oh boy. All right. So
1776, baby.
no, I'm gonna do some like super common sense shit. First of all, get all these dying old people. Like, no offense to the old people that we love, but our country is run by geriatrics who have absolutely no idea what's going on in the real world. So I would put term limits and also age restrictions in place. Like if you have to be 35 or whatever, you shouldn't be allowed to be 95. I mean, it's fucking common sense. So, you know, this is something I get a lot of shit for about from the radical people, which is that I actually believe hope might be a better word than believe. I have hope that we can reform, that we can like have a revolution and reform and be a republic the way that we're supposed to, give states' rights back. So I would abolish a lot of like federal control that they've grabbed up since, you know, really since 9/11. So term limits, age limits, get rid of the Patriot Act, you know, executive order, like goodbye, you're gone. I would put the Smith-Mund Act back in place. The Smith-Mund Act was the legislation that prevented media from running actual propaganda campaigns in coordination with the intel agencies. And of course, Obama got rid of it. So, you know, the bullshit that you see on the TV, like, is actually propaganda. I think if you put that in place, and then you can't expect everybody to comply. So I would take away all the legacy media licenses and make them like you know, I don't know how that all works, but like you have to re-qualify in order to get these FCC licenses and stuff.
Well, hang on one second. I would hope that I would be your vice president. And
yes, you and me could fix this country in give us 2 fucking weeks.
Exactly, because I would remove all licenses and I'd say you're equal with the YouTube influencers. Now
Absolutely.
Go out and compete.
Right.
It's that's how government fucks you.
Yeah.
You have to have a license to fucking cut hair. Right?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All of these licenses is just reissuing your freedom with zero liability. Because I've explained, we all have driver's license, but what if you're a horrible driver, but yet you pass the driver's test? Then you get into an accident. Is the issuer of the license, are they liable? They should be.
Question. Right.
Hey, if you're vouching for this person and you say this person can drive,
Right.
and then they go out and they get in an accident because they're a shit fucking driver, and then you go, well, you gave them a license. They go, well, not our fault.
Right.
Well,
Because it's all
do we need your license?
right. Yeah, you got to get rid of so much regulation, and also kick the radical judges out. Like, I don't give a shit about the optics. Get rid of them. Like, this is not a place for,
See, you and I agree.
Yeah.
We're at a point where no more Mr. Nice Guy.
Correct. You know what I wish? I wish that Trump was half as evil as they say that he is.
Yeah, no shit.
Right?
It's like, look, they call you a good trailer. Act like one.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's so worried about, I think, what people think and optics and all this. Like, we are way too far gone for any of that bullshit. Like, just go in and do what needs to be done, because otherwise we're going to lose the entire country. I mean, I actually think there's a case to be made that we've lost the country, and we either have to take it back or it's over.
Absolutely. Because our problem on the right is that we value right and wrong.
Yes.
They value win or lose.
Win or lose and emotions.
Right. So they have no problem lying their asses off. They have no problem. Trump was arrested. Right? They arrested an ex-president, and then and he was found not guilty on all of them. And then when he's reelected, they're looking into, and I won't even, they're looking into legalities of issues. And everyone's like, oh, he's going after his political opponents. It was like, motherfucker, shut up.
Yeah.
You hit us, and then you whine and cry when we hit back.
Right. Yeah, and we're barely hitting back. Like, I'm waiting for people to be arrested, and I really hope that we start to get to see it soon. I think they're really being too polite, and I don't care about so much shit anymore. Like, just start arresting people. Like, you have all of this evidence. Put Obama in jail. Like, put all of these people that conspired about Russiagate, and I mean, all of it. Like, why are they not in jail? You have to.
Because this is what some on the right may not really recognize, and it's basically all of the politicians and stuff. If they do not arrest these people, you and I, we know they just shot Charlie Kirk, and you and I were talking. You shot the nicest motherfucker.
Right.
In our movement.
Correct.
You tried to kill Trump twice, maybe three. I've heard like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
If they don't arrest these people, they leave us with no choice.
Agreed.
And I don't care how radical that sounds. I guarantee George Washington sounded like a radical to the king.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I love George Washington. Right?
Yep.
That's my motherfucker right there.
Yep.
And I guarantee that we went to war over a 3% tax and religious rights.
Right.
Now
it's this shit.
Yeah, we are getting screwed left, right, and center.
Yep.
And everyone's like, well, It'll get better. No, that's why they're called progressives.
Yep.
Because they progressively take over your country until you're
Right.
eventually where we're at.
Yep. And there's no opting out of this. They are coming for you. I mean,
they're not going to quit. They just shot Charlie Kirk.
yeah.
I mean, the dude he wasn't Jesus, but he was just under
He was
him.
the nicest person.
He was such a genuine dude.
Yeah.
And always everyone he talked to, no matter how radical they were, he
Right.
was polite. He loved, he treated everyone equally with love.
Yes. For all the snowflakes on here, you know, anybody like reeing out about it, like go and find an actual clip of him being rude to someone. Like, we'll wait. We will wait because you can't. He was the nicest person. I mean, and
yeah, I mean,
you need to speak up because this is not going to end. This is the beginning.
Yeah, it's, and I said this as soon as it happened. He's our generation's Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Because Martin Luther King was not fucking Malcolm X. Malcolm X was a radical initially, right? And then you had Martin Luther King, who was not a radical. Now, mind you, he had socialist tendencies and shit like that, but he wasn't a violence guy.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk, the reason he was so popular and the reason they shot him was because he was effective.
Yep. Yeah.
No one shoots anyone with no influence. Right? No one's going to walk up and shoot me and finally got rid of that Bitcoin thing. You know, no, because if I die, the Bitcoin don't give a shit. TikTok next block, motherfucker.
Right. Yeah, you can't take Bitcoin down.
No, and that's why you and I are so passionate about the Bitcoin, because it is the nuclear weapon, and Trump knows this.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking promise you, Trump knows that all he has to do is set off the emergency orange button, and it will blow up their financial system in 3 days.
I can't wait.
Oh, he's there. He's hovering above that orange button. And that when he goes over to China, when he goes, especially Europe, which is not our friends.
No.
They're not our friends. He's warned every single one of them. If you don't release all the shit you are, if you don't let America recapture its liberty and its freedom, I will blow up your whole fucking financial system. I mean, if you look at it, why else would Donald J. Trump, motherfucker's been president, he's been shot at, he's been arrested, he has all these people coming after him. Why would this guy, if the Bitcoin is just some magic internet money, why would he go to one of our conferences and say, never sell your Bitcoin?
Yep. I think I agree with you that they know, Eric Trump has been very active. And when he came last year, Eric came to Abu Dhabi and spoke at the MENA event. And that was incredible. I think that was the moment that I knew that they really understood Bitcoin and its ability to take down the dollar. and more importantly, like the feds and the Federal Reserve, the elites, and this structure. Like when I say the dollar, I mean, you know, the structure really, by which they control everything. And I can't wait to watch it happen.
Well, my friend in Washington kind of broke it down for me on what the plan is. Roll out the U.S. dollar coins.
Stable coin?
Yes.
Yeah.
And allow everyone who owns treasuries to represent those treasuries as coins. That means Walmart. That means Mexico. That means El Salvador. That means wherever.
Mm-hmm.
If you purchase treasuries, you can represent the value of that treasury in the digital coins. Now, once they have all of those out, wait, all right, once they have all of those out and they're in the system, that's when they go after the Federal Reserve, because what they can do is absorb the Federal Reserve's useful powers into the Treasury.
Right.
Then, unlike regular paper currency, you don't have to actually print up more coin or paper. They are going to switch from a federal treasury note or a Federal Reserve note to a U.S. Treasury dollar, and all of the old coins will not have to change because they're represented by treasury bonds, which is exactly how our founding fathers did it.
So it's like a gold standard, but backed by the Treasury reserves, is what you're saying?
Yes, and
Okay.
those reserves will, those treasury bonds will actually be switched from a labor treasury, which is what they are now. They represent future taxation of the American people, into a reserve-linked bond, and that will be gold, and that will be Bitcoin. And how Trump is actually going to get rid of all of the debt is he is going to use the Bitcoin, because remember, with every dollar the price goes up, the actual what the hell you call it, market cap goes up about 19,900,000 right now for every $1. So Trump is going to flood a bunch of external US dollars, old money, into the Bitcoin. That's how he holds off inflation in eggs and all that. Is he basically tells everyone, if you own our treasury bonds, you have a choice. You either represent those in stable coins, or you represent those in stable, I hate that word,
stable coins.
Yes, and then you use that to actually purchase Bitcoin.
Yeah,
and
it makes sense.
That's where this is all leading. That's why he's trying to plug fucking Bitcoin into everything. I want it in the 401ks. I want it in Wall Street. I want it in the social Social Security Administration. I
Right.
would, because that's how you recapitalize America, is you transition the old money into the new money.
Well, stack your sats while you can, because when Bitcoin goes parabolic, you're gonna wish you bought at 100. You know, people are always like, "Oh, I wish I'd bought it then and then," and everybody feels that way. You know, it's not too late. It will never be too late. But now is still a great opportunity.
Yeah, because I've heard exactly the same thing. It's like, well, it's $100,000 of Bitcoin. It
Right.
really passed me by. What I always say is that makes no sense, because if you realize that it has no fucking cap,
Right.
it can literally go to $100 million per fucking Bitcoin. And that price sounds crazy until you realize if right now it's 100, let's say we're right at $100,000 per actual Bitcoin.
Yeah.
If one order comes in that's valued at $180,000 for that one Bitcoin, but they only have to actually purchase one Satoshi, that would equal an overall value of $180,000 per. So in easy ways of explaining it, you don't have to actually buy a whole fucking Bitcoin at
Right.
$1 million in order to reach an evaluation of $1 million. It's an accumulative. It's exactly like snow. You don't have to have it all flop down at once.
Right.
It's an accumulation of, there's a person here, they're actually buying 100 bucks worth. Then,
Right.
and something else a lot of people don't realize, this year, 2025, was the highest selling in the Bitcoin history. Over
I've seen that. Yeah.
800,000 Bitcoin were sold for almost $300 billion. With you and I, we can remember when the market cap wasn't even 300 billion.
Right.
That much selling pressure in 1 year, and
And
we're
we haven't even dropped.
right. The highest we have actually dropped, I think, is like 9.5 or 10%.
Right.
It's it. So what I'm saying is, as the selling pressure dries up, because that's what we're doing, we're just kind of going along.
Yep.
There's still a lot of people buying, and I know several people who actually put millions of dollars a month into it.
Yeah, there's a lot of money. Like you said, a lot of coins have been sold, but we've been able, the price is really, it's starting to kind of stabilize, I think. And at some point, it's going to go parabolic. I think we're going to totally flip. Like gold right now, I think gold's market cap is 25 trillion. And I think Bitcoin eats nearly all of that. The Bitcoin market cap is like 2.5 trillion right now. And that's going to flip, like as more and more people and institutions and structures like the 401ks, Social Security, all that stuff that you were talking about, as those entities start to buy up Bitcoin, it's going to go so parabolic so quickly. And I think we see a total flip where, gold's market cap starts to collapse and Bitcoin will be, you know, a $20-30 trillion asset.
Well, I have a friend out in Silicon Valley. He sent me a message this morning, and he's like, look, a lot of this AI cash is about to roll over into fucking Bitcoin because
Makes sense.
because they realize the evaluations are way too high.
Oh, the AI bubble is gonna burst. I mean, there's stupid money over there.
And where else is it going to go?
Right.
Remember, these are tech motherfuckers.
Yep.
None of them are like, oh, give me a couple of bars of gold.
Right.
None of these guys fucking
No way. Yeah.
And January 1 is, I'm not saying that the price is going to skyrocket on January 1, but I'll tell you what, when the new legislation that they're going to pass in December near Christmas, hint, hint, when that passes, it's game on, because then all of the regulatory is already set up. Everybody can fucking get into it.
Yeah, one thing I think a lot of people don't realize is, you know, people are looking at the price in this panicked way, like, oh my gosh, you know, it was 30 and now it's 100. And a lot of people don't realize that a lot of the institutional money, the money from tech that will come from AI, you know, all these things, they don't give a shit about the price. Like, the more of the higher the dollar value goes, the more FOMO they're going to have, and they're going to come in. And so once that starts, it's going to be like a waterfall. Like, there's billions and billions of dollars waiting for the price to go up, and then they're going to buy, because to them that gives the asset more validity. And so I really think, you know, I mean, we're screaming it from the mountaintops, but like, if you are considering getting into Bitcoin or how invested you should be in Bitcoin, I mean, I just really hope that everyone has every last dollar that they can have in Bitcoin in there, because your dollars aren't going to be worth anything and your Bitcoin is going to be worth everything.
Absolutely. I completely agree. That's why I launched all of my clubs. Because
yep, I know, you know.
Whenever the floodgates open, you're going to have everyone going, why is Bitcoin at $500,000? What the fuck is going on?
Yep.
And hey, isn't there that club right down the road here? Yeah, there is. And hey, because I don't know if you know this, I recently bought a credit union in El Salvador.
You know, I heard that, but I don't know a lot about it. Tell me more about that. Congratulations. It's so cool.
And we are working with the El Salvadorian government, and we are launching the very first decentralized credit union that is fully backed by Bitcoin.
That's incredible. Congratulations.
Yep. El Salvador should be announcing it in a few weeks or so.
All right. I look forward to the official announcement. I will definitely keep my eye out for that. That is so incredible.
Yep. In fact, now that you said that, I'm going to switch which ad I run at the end of this. There we go. All right, Michelle, thank you so much. I've actually kept you for an hour. I appreciate your time, and I mostly appreciate you on X. You are the most educational yet entertaining wild woman on X.
Well, thank you. That is quite an endorsement. And, you know, I think to me it's common sense. Like, make common sense great again. And whatever you think, say it. You know what I mean? Like, so many people agree with me and they're just afraid to say it. It's like if you all spoke up, like I wouldn't look like a crazy person because I know you all agree with me.
Yeah.
So it's been really great catching up with you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, hon. You have a great day.
You too. I will see you soon. You let me know when you're back in Florida.
Absolutely. And watch the ad I play at the end.
Yes, I look forward to it. Let's see it.
Let's go, guys.
Your Bitcoin's sitting idle. Time to make it work. Private Key Capital, the world's first fully Bitcoin-backed financial institution, lets you earn 4% APY on your Bitcoin. Enjoy Bitcoin savings accounts, secure custody, Bitcoin-backed loans, fiat on-off ramps, and exclusive member benefits. This is crypto banking reimagined. Early members get the best rates. Join Private Key Capital today and start earning 4%.